Hey everybody, what's going on? We're here with a timeless reading. Welcome. All right, first card that we have out is Four of Swords. I'm also seeing the Star. It looks like you're taking, you could be taking a deliberate break from something. There's a reason why you're doing this. To have the Star next to it, it can be like, I need to heal right now, or I need to do self-care, or I need to like catch up on sleep, or I need to reserve my energy now so I can use it for this thing that's upcoming. It can be like that sort of thing. There can also be you like exerting your energy only for a specific thing too, and so you may be like, I can't use it up now because I want to use it for this particular thing. So that may be where like a lot of your energy is going to currently. This is stuff that would feel like very important to you right now. You could even be at a point of figuring this out. Some of you too, you feel like you need to pull back because that's what you're figuring out. Like, what am I supposed to be doing? What do I want to be doing? There can be a focus on healing. There can be a focus that's connected with like purpose related things of like, where do I feel like I'm supposed to be right now? Or how do I encourage myself to walk a path where I feel like I'm finding that out? Like those types of things. Something may not be making sense right now, but you don't need to be fretting over that. It feels like sort of allowing yourself to be where you are right now is really what's going to be, I think, what's needed to make this process as easy as possible. Like to embrace the flow of things rather than the resistance. Okay. You're being called to do things in a new way, but you're feeling a type of way about this. Let's use an example. You can have somebody around you that's encouraging you to like take a chance on something, or like maybe you do well if you switched it up, whatever. This doesn't feel like it's unsolicited. This feels more like you may be getting signs, or you may have a conversation with somebody, or you may be having certain thoughts that are telling you to get outside of your comfort zone. And this can be like, it's time for you to take a chance. It's time for you to put yourself out there. It's time for you to, and not just for no reason. This isn't like go on stage just to go on stage. This is more so like you have a story to tell, or you want to use your voice in a particular way. This would be something that it would be to explore your authentic journey and do something that feels very genuine to you. So this isn't just for no reason. Like, this isn't arbitrary, okay? This is something where it's like, I actually have an interest in doing this thing, or I feel happy when I think about participating in that, or this feels like a little bit intimidating to me, but I've always been like interested going in this direction, or that's always been something that's fascinated me, or like I always like really admired people that did that, like maybe I'd want to do it. It's like those sorts of things for you. But having Five of Swords here shows you feeling like you're in a space where you don't feel safe for some reason. Like this doesn't feel okay. So you can know that this would require a leap of faith for you. Having Five of Swords is this part of you that's like, for some reason, you almost feeling like I can't do that, and that's why I'm seeing Four of Swords be important. What this means, for those of you that like don't know what that aspect of things mean, it means that Four of Swords is like, what do I need to do for myself to get into a space where I feel grounded and where I feel calm, where I feel a sense of peace, where I feel safe, where I feel like a peace of mind that is encouraging my sense of resilience for me to maybe do something that's outside of my comfort zone. So this like rest or break or recharging or healing that you're doing, where this is about finding like your calm center and grounding your energy, it's with the purpose in mind of, I want to fulfill my mission. Like I want to be stepping in a direction that feels authentic to me, where I feel like I'm actually in alignment with my dharmic path, you know, these types of things. Because right now I'm seeing you be in a spot where you're like, what does this mean and where am I supposed to go? I'm dealing with a lot of feelings right now too, and I'm also feeling a sense of resistance as well. And I almost can't get through this. So it's like getting to that part where this is coming up for you. I'm seeing strong Aquarian energy here. We have the star and we also have the Fool here, which this is Aquarius, this is Uranus, which is the modern ruler of Aquarius. So it's about being yourself, and where you may be holding yourself back from being yourself or doing things your way because of like not trusting yourself, because of not believing in yourself, because of being worried about what other people are gonna think, because of not feeling okay with like being vulnerable, shying away from that. This can also be too like I feel like I'm running around constantly and now I'm being asked to put myself out there in that way. So it's like, first you need to center, like that's what needs to be done before you can have hopes of sort of venturing out on your own, because you need a stable foundation to sort of move from, but it's more so like a mental stable foundation. So this is about feeling like, okay, I'm in an okay spot mentally because I'm making an effort to do what I need to do to get there. And then even though I may still feel very uncomfortable with this, I'm gonna try it out. Or I'm going to allow myself to be seen. That can be a theme with the star here. But I think that there's still like a lot of judgment. Ultimately, this is self-judgment, but you may perceive it as like what other people are thinking about you or saying about you. Or this can come through as insecurities, but really just like if you're feeling that experience with other people, it's really just a reflection of like your own attitude towards yourself. So no matter which way this is like showing up for you, where you're getting like a taste of this, where you're being able to see this, or like, I'm not gonna be good enough, or I feel like an imposter, like, well, I have no idea what I'm doing here, so I might as well like not try, you know, those types of things. It's about getting into a space where you're like, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing and I'm just gonna do it anyway because this is what feels right for me. This is what I feel interested in doing. This is the way that I wanna go with this, like those things. So it's even to like allowing yourself to experience all of the emotions that you're experiencing and still choosing to do what you want to do here. Like what feels most inspiring to you, what feels most authentic to you, and knowing that it's not too late, because some of you, I'm getting that feeling coming up. Wherever this is that you've been holding on to things, you are going to be relieved from this. So this feels like maybe you got to a spot where you were like, I don't know if I can really stop holding on to this so tightly. I'm seeing that you're going to get help with this. Something is going to be happening that's going to sort of take this out of your hands for you, and it's to encourage you to do this. Whatever this is that you're being encouraged to do, because this is your path. But there may be a part of you that, when you really check in, you're gonna know that you were having a hard time sort of opening your hands or loosening your grip. And so that's why this situation is happening for you. So when you really check in, you're gonna be like, yeah, I did need help, like from the universe, you know, because it's gonna happen in a way that's outside of your control to make sure that this actually happens, because you need room right now to move around. And it feels like you're in a spot where like you can be feeling like you can't break out of it, and that's why this is going to help you. Because it's like that bit that you've still been holding on to, this is gonna come through and again like relieve you of that. At first, when it happens, you may be like really losing it, but this is something that it's definitely meant to benefit you, and it's not anything, it's meant to benefit you. You have to keep that in mind. Something may be happening, and this part of you that likes being in control is going to have potentially a difficult time with this, but this is meant to help you. And you're not being given anything that's like impossible for you to work with. This is meant to help you. And the only reason that it's come to this now at this point, the only reason it's come to this is because you weren't willing to like loosen your grip on your own, essentially. Like this was something where it's like you're calling for help subconsciously, and there's like this part of you that's like, I don't want to be stuck like this anymore, but there's this part of me that's really refusing to let go here. And so again, like the universe is coming through and being like, we'll help you out here. So it is, you have to keep that in mind no matter what's going on. Look at it, and like, why not look at it this way? If you want to look at it as a way of, this is going to be something that's actually helping you break out in a way where you were very, very stuck. So this is very much a good thing that's happening here. And I think it's also going to help you break out of like an attitude that you were having towards yourself, and something where you were like, I'm not ready for it, I'm not ready for it, I'm not ready for it, I don't want to do it. And now it's just like, well, now you have like no other choice than to do this. It's like one of those types of situations, because I feel like you already have known sort of clearly where you're meant to be going. But this feeling of like, I'm just gonna sit here thinking about this, and I'm having a really hard time changing and allowing myself to move in this direction. We're gonna label this as an Aquarius reading just because we only have Aquarius out here. I'm looking at Uranus, I'm also seeing Mars too. You can have fourth house placements as well. Something that's like sticking out here with this? Anything else? Something was not progressing at all, and this is what's going to allow it to like break free and progress, even if it may be in a way where it just feels like chaotic. I feel like this is connected, the way that I'm seeing this tower, it feels more so connected with the energy of the ecliptic energy. So that's what I'm seeing going on here. I'm just like waiting around seeing if anything else is gonna come through. This is part of your destiny. This is something that you're meant to be doing. There's going to be a little bit of a whirlwind emotionally, or there's going to be something that feels like a bit chaotic, or just something where you're like, what is this going to be? I'm trying to figure out like what makes sense here. It's going to be like getting to that point, but there's going to be a little bit of like cloudiness for a little bit. This is meant to help you heal. This is really going to help you heal something that's based in like you not feeling safe, you feeling insecure, a lack of willingness to be vulnerable, like those sorts of things, where this is gonna happen in a way where you're sort of like forced to be vulnerable, and so it helps you like get over it and just do this thing that it's time to be doing. To have Star and to have the Fool here, this is a very, very powerful energy of like, this is what you're meant to be doing. That can happen too with the eclipses. The way that it works is that if you're like already in alignment, moving in a way that's like authentic to your path, the eclipse is going to be something where it's more like a bonus, or like you're granted something. However, if you find, and this is going to take place in like, pay attention to the house that it's in. That's going to be just as important as the sign. It's where you have Aries and Libra in your chart. The Libran house is going to be the like letting go of something, essentially, or it can be something being pulled away or taken away. And whatever house Aries rules, That can be where something is like added or given, or if you are not like on track according to like the universal system, you will be you'll be snapped back onto the grid where you're supposed to be. So that's what's gonna happen. So this is like a bumper, if anything. So just know that if something is going on, it is meant to benefit you, and it is meant to keep you on track or get you back on track if you've been having a hard time steering back where you're supposed to be going, in order for you to continue pursuing your mission and your path. So that's what's happening here. I think that this is something that you were like really struggling with a lot, but you could have felt like really stuck within this. And that it's just, it may feel like this is a disaster, or this is really chaotic, or now I'm hitting rock bottom, or whatever this is, because I'm seeing it's like something that you had been holding on to so tightly. You'd been like super gluing this thing so it didn't fall apart, but it was like really stuck and really rigid and like crystallized. And this thing is like blasting that whole thing apart, because you're not meant to be in that spot doing that thing. Like the energy needs to be broken up, so that's what this is doing. This could have also been something that was going on that was connected with you playing it safe in some way too, or just like refusing to like adapt, or refusing to change, or at the end of the day some type of resistance. But it would have been a resistance of the ego. It's not a resistance that's connected with like your higher self being like, resist this. This is like solely from the ego being like, I don't want to change, or like I don't want to open myself up to that. It's like these types of things. So definitely something beneficial here that's happening, all right? When you get to a spot too, this is gonna happen continuously, where you're like, I have no idea. It's like you're sitting down and being like, I'm waiting for the compass to tell me a direction. You're gonna keep getting things coming in at those points when you're like looking all around and you're like, I have no clue like where to go right now. Just keep your eyes open, because things are gonna continuously be coming through, and they're gonna be like little stepping stones for you to follow. So even if at first when certain things come in, you feel your ego feels resistant, like I'm not familiar with that, or I've never done that before, like I don't know if I can do that, or like that's kind of intimidating to me, or like I like what I'm used to even though I low-key hate it, you know, like those types of things. Just try to be mindful to keep yourself open, because these are the paths that you're meant to be, like the stones you're meant to be stepping on for your path. And it's going to be stuff generally like outside of your comfort zone, because this is a lot of learning and expanding right now for this part. Putting you in some new situations too. So it's not going to be same old anymore. And even though you may have found some comfort in it, ultimately it was for your ego. And when you're making decisions that are motivated by your ego, the growth isn't happening. The expanding isn't happening. And then what do you need to be here for anyway, you know? And that's when we start feeling like, I'm not motivated, or like, what am I even doing here? Like, I feel sort of purposeless. Things are feeling so boring. I have like no energy. I'm feeling depressed. You know, those things. That's what starts happening when you're making choices that are motivated by your ego. You feel like you're holding on to things. You feel heavy because of it energetically. It doesn't feel good. Even though the ego's like, this is the best way, you know? Trying new things. There could have also been, some of you could have been seeing like symptoms of this, we'll call it, because you could have looked at other people that were putting themselves out there, or taking risks, or allowing themselves to be vulnerable, or like messing up and not really knowing what they're doing because they're having a new experience, and you could have felt judgmental towards those people. You can also feel that way towards yourself when you're not automatically like good at something or know what you're doing. It's like that part of you that's like the perfectionist energy, or just like not being supportive of like your inner child, or the part of you that's like remembering things, you know, that stuff. It may feel like a bit of a puzzle, but you are very much capable of working through this, is what I'm seeing. So just know that anything that you are facing right now, anything that's soon to be coming up for you, it's all to put you on the path, keep you on the path. It's all like redirection or encouragement of direction. And all of it is stuff that, even if you're facing some stuff that feels a bit challenging, nothing that you can't handle. All right, my friends, we're going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Some of you, you're going to be seeing an eye, like a symbol of an eye. That may be a synchronicity that's going to be coming up for you. I want to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.